Hi everyone, my name's Butterfly Onyx. I'm here today to get into conversation with my good friend Antiqu'e Ampomah, aka Butterfly Queen. So, we're here today.
It's really lovely to be here. Thank you for doing this with me, Shalene.
You're so welcome, I'm so privileged. I am, I really am.
Thank you. I thought it was, what better to have a conversation with my friend about, my journey, and you've been someone that's really supported me on my journey.
Thank you.
And just there for me in the ups and downs and all the hard times, and going shopping for me, getting my tropical fruits.
Your soursop.
Yeah. And just really helping me to heal.
Mm-hmm.
So we always have these kind of conversations, all kinds of conversations.
Yeah, and why not bring it to the forefront, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah. Often we share things, quite personal things, and so I'd like if you could just share with us, with me, a bit about your journey, your transitioning into how you even got to the point of your EP Could Be Worse. Could Be Worse.
Yeah, because I've actually got 2 EPs. I launched a double EP launch at the same
Well
time.
done. I'm so proud of you for that as well.
Thank you.
I'm so proud. I've seen how you have persisted and carried on, and the summation of your art that you've created now is a testament to who you are. So give us a little bit about who you are and what makes you you.
Well, I am just me. I'm very creative, and I love creating. I live art in colours. The way that I see the world is very wonder. It's just like a child, like yourself as well. And I think that's why I connect with you a lot, because the way you see the world is like, wow, did you see that? That's beautiful.
I know, I love my rainbows and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
And do you think some of the things that you've been through, the appreciation you have and the way you connect with people like myself who just get happy over any small thing, do you think it's anything to do with some of the tragedies that you faced in your life?
I've been through a lot of things, and I definitely think that has shaped the way that I see the world and the way that I approach creativity. And I also feel that I'm a feeling person. That's why I said I also feel, because I feel a lot. I feel deeply. I feel energies, and I am really sensitive.
And it's one of those energies, would it be love?
Love. I love love.
I love love too. Love is brilliant. I love watermelon. I love my people. I love my home. And I'm so glad today that I could be here to share it with you, to share this moment. I really am. So, would you like to delve a little bit into what love means to you and your first experience of true love?
Oh, yeah, well, love, I always wanted someone to love me, and I always wanted to love someone. I grew up in a household where my mum and dad was married for over 25 years, and I used to feel like, oh, I want to do that when I'm older, and I had this kind of fairy tale kind of idealistic view of love once upon a time, and I loved my son's father, Kirk, which the EP Could Be Worse is about. I loved him so much, your first childhood sweetheart.
I do. I remember getting my heart broken many times in primary school. But as you grow, but as you grow, love does change. The meaning of what love looks like to anybody.
Right.
Before it used to look like for me drawing hearts and making my own Valentine's Day cards.
Putting little crosses on them.
Exactly.
Yeah. So now for me, it just
And is there a story? Is there a story with you and Kirk that?
Yeah, so I met him when I was 15 years old. I was working in kids' company, shadowing a social worker.
Okay.
I don't know why at 15 I decided that I wanted to shadow a social worker, and I thought, what can I do in the summer? Oh, I'm going to shadow.
That's quite a serious thing to shadow. I wouldn't have thought that was the first thing, but they are vital people, and it is a caring, nurturing role from the outside to go into. So maybe that's what kind of attracted you to doing that.
Yeah, I think so. And I thought I'd be a good social worker if I was going to be one.
Mm-hmm.
So I shadowed this social worker, and it was at Kids Company. At the time, Kids Company was in Grosvenor Terrace, just off Wharf Road.
Right.
And that's where I first met him.
Oh.
I actually saw him a few times on Frontline. You know Peckham Frontline?
Well,
you're not
I was gonna don't try and expose me. I've been here long enough. I've got my roots now. Don't try and kick me out of Peckham just yet. Okay? All right then.
Just come.
I'm an SC15 now. Okay.
She's a newbie, so I'm original. So I met him. I was on Frontline, and where Cracker Jack is. Do you know Cracker Jack?
Yeah. That's shut now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's shut now.
I do know my history.
I let you off.
Isn't it the shop that was? It always it has a title, but there's nothing in there. I'm sure that's the one opposite where the library used to be.
Yeah.
I used to think, this shop is just here, there's nothing in it, but...
Yeah, but everyone used to stand outside there. But anyway, Frontline, and I remember being outside, at the time it was called Warwick Park School, and I was waiting for the bus, and I was with my friend Ashley, and there was two people on the other side of the gate, inside the school, and Ashley knew them. I don't know what Kirk said to Ashley, but he was like, basically...
It was enough to impress you, so...
No.
Yeah, don't sound like you're shy. Okay, all right. No. You said Kirk's name way too many times.
Right.
Okay, all right. We'll let you continue.
So he was with his brethren. He came up to the gates of the school, and that's where the bus stop was. And then he was saying to Ashley, "I like your friend. Tell your friend I like her."
Classic line. Classic line. I like your friend.
Yeah. Tell your friend I like her, or whatever he's saying. I'm thinking, who's this little boy behind the school?
It's kind of a polite way to do it, though. You know, through your friends.
No. For me, I was just like, who's this little boy behind the school gate?
Excuse me.
Yeah, this is what I thought.
Yeah.
Little did I know we were the same age. Yeah. I don't know, I just thought, who's this little boy coming up to me in school?
So when did it change? Like what?
Yeah, so while I was at the Kids Company, fast forward, I was at Kids Company and I was doing work experience, and I was walking past, and I remember I was wearing like a black blazer, a little black skirt, black tights, and nice long knee-high boots. Well, not knee-high, just under your knee.
You wear boots?
Yeah, and then I wasn't at school.
Oh, you was working. Oh, okay,
yeah.
I let you off.
Yeah. And then I had my hair was in a bob, or a wrap bob, but I had it plaited in a bob, and you know when you curl it under?
Yeah.
Yes, I had it all cut out, and I was walking.
You felt sweet then.
Yeah, I was walking. So I was walking, and then all I heard was, "Hello." And then I turned my head like that, because he was like in the doorway, like that.
Oh, wow. He was posing for you. He was like, "Hello."
Yeah,
you know,
he was like,
movie classic line.
Yeah, it felt like a movie. It was like a movie.
Oh.
So he was like, "Hello."
Oh,
and then I
nice.
turned my head, saw him, and turned straight back, and then I double took. And I was like, "Oh, you've got nice eyes."
Oh.
And then he said, "Thank you." And I think I saw his soul at that point.
You know what? It's very rare to have that feeling when you meet someone. So it must have been really special and really poignant.
Yeah.
You know, like after the fairy tale introduction, what was it like for you, like in radio edit? How was your relationship after that?
Well, me and him we were like best friends.
Oh, that's
But
so
at
nice.
the same time, we had our issues.
Okay.
We were very young. We was like teenagers and stuff. So, there was a lot of things going on with him in his life and stuff like that.
Were you creative back then, would you say? Did you know that you was going to be such a creative soul then?
No, but I knew I was creative, but I didn't ever, like, there was nothing to nurture that. So I was just hanging around with my friends, you know? Yeah.
Growing up, kind of,
basically, yeah.
Experiencing life.
So, yeah.
So Kirk was he was quite a significant person in your life.
Yeah.
And where did his significance take you? Like, what did it bring to you?
I just fell in love with this person. I remember when he came to my house, but my mum wasn't allowing him to come in, She went,
good mum. Well done, mum. Looking after your daughter.
Yeah, and he weren't allowed in, but he used to, like, I don't know if he was like, used to, like, throw a little stone on my window, and then I'll pop out my head, and I'll sneak down the stairs.
That is funny. You thought you were sneaking. I bet you asked your mum now.
And my door, it didn't have, like, you had to lock it for it to lock, so I just pulled it like that, and then you shut the gate and everything. No one would know that it was open. And then we sneaked to the park.
Oh, we know it was open now, so lucky we can't go back in time.
We snuck to the park near my house, and we talked for the whole night. I don't know if it was cold, whatever.
The love kept you warm.
Yeah, we spoke for the whole night, and I just remember, like, speaking for the whole night. And the next minute it was like morning. We didn't feel, it's like time just passed.
It's like a nice way of getting to know somebody, isn't it? Especially
I already knew him at that time.
But I mean, like, growing to get to know somebody.
He used to make me laugh, and
did he have, like, influences on you that inspired you to who you are now with your creativity?
He did just before he passed,
Right.
So
that's quite sad.
Yeah, it was. That
must have been really hard.
It was really hard. Just before he passed, I got into my creativity, and I wrote a song called All These Years, and it was about him. So I played it to him, and he was proper, like, gassed. He was excited. He was like, "Oh, that sounds so nice. Make sure you do this, Make sure you do."
It was like a lasting testament then.
Yeah, he was very, like, encouraging to me and stuff like that. So
that's nice that he supported you as well.
Yeah.
And was that kind of like a kickstart to you thinking, all right, this is me, this is my path now, or did it take a bit more than that?
No, because what happened is my father passed away.
Okay. So
to deal with that's what ignited my creativity.
Right.
Like, just to express myself and just to...
Was it healing?
Yeah, it's always been therapy to me. That's how I found creativity, as a therapy.
Yeah.
And I've always used it in that way, to be honest.
And, personally for me, since I've known you, I have really, like, tucked into your music like it's a nice lasagna type thing. Vegan lasagna. It doesn't have to be a meat one,
Yeah, vegan.
Alkaline lasagna.
Cheers! Alkaline!
Is it? Cheers to that one. Cheers.
It's so funny.
I'm a lady. I'm a butterfly queen. Don't forget that. So, since I've been introduced to
you
music...
just sipped it and I gulped it down.
Like an elephant. Suck it up. Elephant. That sounds so wrong. So when I've been listening to your music, I have really been taking it in though. No, it really does help me. And, like, I'm always singing to you. Like, I sing it so much to you. You're like, whose song is that? Woman.
Oh, yeah.
Woman. And I make my own little versions of it, even to the point where you're like, what song is that? I'm like, it's your song. But I love it. You guys have to check it out on YouTube. I don't know how you find it. Maybe Woman.
It's called I'm a Me Woman.
I'm a Me Woman. You'll love it. You'll love it. Play it loud on a Sunday. Play it for anybody that you value in your life that you find special. It's really, really deep. Trust me.
Oh,
yeah.
Thank you.
You've shared with us a bit about your story, how when you first met Kirk, and what love he brought to you, and the inspiration that he gave you, sadly, when he passed away, and also how you used it to deal with your dad passing away. Can you give us, like, any ideas of how these like traumas resonated with your EP that you created? Could be worse.
Yeah, could be worse. Created it when I was going through my second part of my treatment. So I'll just give you a bit of background. So I was diagnosed with classical Hodgkin's lymphoma stage 2B.
Okay,
2000.
Just give us a brief edit of what that means.
So it's a rare blood cancer.
Right.
It usually affects people under, well, a lot of the time it affects younger people under the age of 40.
Okay.
I was diagnosed 2021.
Okay.
April 2021, I went through one intensive treatment and then had a relapse, and then that's when I created As Strange As It Seems.
All right. During your treatment, were you able to like cling on to your healing music and stuff like that, or was it just a period where you had to focus on one thing at a time?
What do you mean?
So in other words, like when you were going through your treatment, were you still manifesting songs and stuff like that? Poetry, spoken word?
Yeah. I don't actually know how I did that, but I did it. And it was a way to keep myself sane and not to focus on what I was going through so much, because I needed to have
kind of like a rope to...
kind of like a goal.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know my sister, Marcia, we adopted each other.
Yes, lovely. Another lovely person.
Yeah. Marcy said to me to focus on my goals, and my goals was, as soon as I got diagnosed, I need to create music. I need to put music out. I need to do all these things that I've had on my heart that I
wanted to release, kind of, or just like, you know, you have the ingredients of a cake. The more you add, the more richer it becomes. So it's like you knew you had this in you, and you were like, I need to make it into a diamond kind of thing.
Into the world.
Yeah.
So not to focus on what I was going through or growing through at the time, because I did grow through that experience, but I needed to find something to help me to preserve my sanity, because going through that type of experience is very, very mentally like
it's a lot.
Taxing, it's anxiety riddled, it's fear, all kinds of things, worry. I had a lot of anxiety, so I was just creating and creating and creating. And after I created the first project, which was mostly improvised, I then created As Strange As It. Could be worse. The reason why I did that is because I felt like with the first project I had to go back to go forward. Okay. So that was quite nostalgic, and
so was it like transmuting pain into art?
Yeah, and it was like it literally was that, and it was, I forgot what I was saying now.
So basically it was just the fact that you was talking about how you had to have a focus, a goal, and that you needed to, you know, put this out to the world.
Yeah, and I forgot what I was saying.
It's okay. Can you share?
Sometimes I have chemo brain, so like when you interjected now, I just forgot what I was talking about.
Yeah.
But you know that.
I've got my own I can't remember brain. Together we make one brain, just put it that way. We'll be telling each other to remind each other to remember something.
And I'm like, are you going to remember? And then she's like, yeah. And then like, remember? No.
Exactly.
So I needed to focus on something during the journey, something that was going to help me to cope with anxiety, help me to cope with my treatment. So I went back and done my healing work, and I felt like I needed to go back into my childhood and my adolescence, and then I needed to do some healing around Kirk, because he was taken from me, and it was very like 1 minute I'm on the phone to him, so I was on the phone to him, and then the next minute I needed to get up in the morning, and I put Soul is my son, to sleep. I spoke to Kirk for some time, and then I felt so tired because I had uni the next day, and I needed to get off the phone. In the project, actually, there's the intro, the interlude, and the outro, which talks about the journey of what I've
I was going to ask you, how does healing manifest for you? Like, what does that look like? Because healing could be lots of different things to different people. Could it?
What is it to you?
Oh, that's a good question. Okay. Healing to me is usually writing in my diary, talking to myself. A lot of things that I say are things that my friends tell me, and I don't listen to myself, but I listen to my friends. I don't know why that is. You could know something, but when you hear it from outside, it seems to have a stronger influence.
Is it like an affirmation, affirming?
It's
reminding?
Some of it's affirming, and some of it is kind of like when I read it in years from now, because at the time when you're writing it, you think you're just writing. I've got my diaries back from when I was like 8 years of age. And just to read those things, it makes me understand who I am and what I've become. So for me, writing in my diary just shows me how much I've grown and stuff like that. So that makes me feel a lot stronger, because when you were younger, you never would have known who you were going to be as an adult,
Yeah, and that can serve as a reminder. But just to segue, my work is my diary.
Okay.
So my songs are my diary, my instrumentals, my compositions, they're all a diary. If you listen to the instrumentals, there's a lot of sounds that are reflective of my emotions, because it sounds abstract to some people.
I was just going to say, to me, that you have quite like a combination of an orchestral voice combined with like melodic, but you can hear also as well a bit of the hurt, but then how you've used that hurt to become more wholesome. That's what I feel when I listen to it.
And my compositions express my emotions, so you'll hear different things about me in there,
And are you comfortable with the fact of putting it out there to the world, your story? And
I was very anxious.
I would be.
I was very, very anxious, very anxious, to the point I was like, ah! The night before, I felt like, oh, should I be doing this?
Did it make you feel vulnerable? Like, did you think, I don't want people to know me that well, or?
No, I didn't feel like that. I just felt like my stuff is quite different to what's out there.
Very.
So I don't know what people are going to think or how they're going to perceive it or feel from it. Because once you put something out in the world, it kind of is no longer yours. But for me, I create in retrospect.
Right.
So once I've processed what I've been through, then I can share. I never share before the time of myself. Never share before the time of me doing my healing and doing the work. And after I've done that, then I can share with other people.
And do you think that the inspiration behind your music will always be in retrospect, or do you think, okay?
Yeah, I always share in retrospect.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you ever do anything for yourself behind closed doors that is futuristic, say, or is it always and has been retrospective?
Well, recently I've been creating from the now and sharing in now. Like, for example, the song that I shared with you, which I haven't released yet.
I love that song. Yeah. I can't wait for it to come out. I keep asking her to let me hear it, and she said, no,
it's not ready yet.
Yeah, that's what she keeps saying. Like Ready Brick, it's not ready yet, but the other way around.
It's not ready yet. Yeah. So, Could Be Worse is...
Yeah, tell us about that.
Yeah, Could Be Worse is a soundtrack to my trauma.
Right.
It's a journey of how I felt when my son's father... See, I've always described him as my son's father.
Right. Because...
I don't know, it just felt easier than to say...
Because I was going to say to you when you said my son's soul, I was going to say, how come she doesn't say our son? Our son's soul. Because
he passed away, he's never been there. So it's never been our son, it's always been my son, because I've been on my own. And I was forced to be on my own because he passed.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just a normal passing, he was murdered.
That's got to be like soul wrenching. It really has to be.
It was really heavy, and I felt like I was just paralyzed. So when my dad passed away, it ignited my creativity. When that happened, it paralyzed my creativity, and I actually had a long time out of creativity, and I couldn't even talk.
What were you doing then to fill that space if you didn't have your creativity?
I was grieving. I was grieving, and I was just paralyzed. Yeah.
Well, I'm so glad.
I also went on to do more stuff with my One Wing project, which was working with young people and female groups. But for me, I was paralyzed. I couldn't talk. I couldn't express. I just couldn't. Yeah.
Well, I'm so glad, that you've gotten to reached this stage. Obviously, none of us know tomorrow, and it kind of links into it could be worse, the title.
Yeah.
So, what made you choose the title Could Be Worse?
Because Could Be Worse for me was like, well, I've been through this journey with the Hodgkin's lymphoma, and it could be worse. Like, I don't take it for granted that I'm here today, and there's some people that ain't. Yeah. So it could have been worse.
Yeah.
But I'm here. I'm here. Yeah.
We're glad you're here. I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
We are. We really are.
Yeah.
Antiqe, you're a wonderful person, honestly.
Don't make me
I could have been.
Don't make me cry.
Listen, not right now. Not with this beautiful eye makeup that we have on. Yeah, hide the tears. Tears of joy are coming. Ooh, look at that. Yeah. I love it. The glamour.
Thank you, but
but honestly, there's only very few people that become special in your life, and you are one of those to me. And I am so glad that I met you.
Thank you. I'm so glad that this crazy lady came up to me and ended up saying, "Can I take a picture?"
And what a coincidence that we both love butterflies. No words of a lie. And like I was just going to say, the title of the One Wing project. I love that.
Oh.
And now you've met another wing.
So basically, I feel that I thought I was going to get really what is that?
It's my medicine alarm.
Okay, let's do that then.
Oh no, it's not actually. I don't know what it is.
Okay, let's
cut it out then.
Yeah, so in terms of could be worse, I don't take for granted that life is here for us now. So from when we've got life, we have everything.
That's a good notion.
We have everything.
That is a really good notion.
Even if we can't get out of bed today, even if we're fatigued, even if we're going through something, even if we can't walk, even if we can't talk, even if we can't hear, even just we've got life. From when you've got life, you have everything.
I think that's a very, very true and wholesome statement. It really is. And sometimes as well, you hope that people are able to value something without having to lose something. It's unfortunate that you have experienced two tragedies, so close. But the silver lining is something even more greater has come out of that,
Exactly.
Something even greater. Besides the point that it's a realization of when you have life, it's everything. How did it feel when you were creating this EP? Compared to, and maybe in comparison to how it's felt before, is there a difference?
I was free. I was very free, and I was expressing me. That kind of sounds like poetry, but yeah.
It works. Next EP title.
I was very free, I was expressing me, and I wasn't afraid to be me, and I wanted to tap more into me, and I also done a lot of crying.
Mm-hmm.
I also done a lot of releasing. I've also done a lot of processing.
Mm-hmm.
And I still have more to process, to be honest. Yeah, I think healing is an ongoing thing. But during that project, I enjoyed myself. To be honest with you, I can't even really remember. I enjoyed myself creating because it distracted me from a very hard time in my life. Yeah. And I also feel a sense of achievement. I feel very proud that I was able to, I wrote it, I produced it, I done everything, recorded it all by myself while I was going through all of these treatments between 2021 and 2022. And the thing is, I don't like to say I because I know that God was there with me. That was the power. That power, that spark, that magic, that creation. That creation, that ignition, that force. That's the only thing I can say that it was, because there's no way I could have done that all by myself. So.
I understand that totally. Yeah. How do you hope that listeners will connect with this album? I mean, do you want them to, for instance, if they listen to your album, do you want them to come up to you and hug you? Or...
No, my immune system.
She'll start putting on her, what's the Ghana pattern again?
Kente.
She'll start putting on her Kente Club mask, She's a star. You can admire from
afar.
I was going to say 1 meter away.
Afar.
Don't spill no more of that water on my carpet, I want, when you get rich, I want my compensation. This girl spilled water all over my carpet. Like she's trying to grow plants on my carpet.
On the floor.
So how do you hope listeners will connect with, could be worse, on an emotional level?
That's how I'd like them to connect. I'd like them to heal. I'd like them to receive. I'd like them to deeply resonate with the project in the way that they would, because now I've gifted it to everybody else. It was a promise to God. I said to God, if you give me my life, I'll do anything you want me to do.
Don't give me goosebumps,
And God said I must create. God said I must sing. I must sing. I'm like, sing what? I'm like, what do you want me to sing? How can I sing? Yeah. That's all I had. Sing. So I'm like, okay, I've got to sing. So I did sing, and I did create, and I did release, and then I did record, and shout out to my brother Bobby Zion for mixing and mastering, for encouraging me. Shout out to Feminsky that helped me to push and birth the projects into the world. Shout out to all my friends and family, all the people that supported me on my journey.
Energy. Everybody was putting in their little 2 pence worth.
Yeah, exactly. Helping me to keep up with my nutrition, helping me to keep up with my mental, my physical, my emotional, my spiritual.
Everything.
I had so much people supporting me. Even though I was on my own, everyone pitched in when I needed
the love.
The love. Like, going back to the beginning, I now know what love is because of you, because of everyone who showed up for me in my life in different forms, and that's love, and I know I'm loved. I know that I'm loved. I know what love is.
Do you ever look back as well at this point in time and say things that you thought were love then, and you can identify now that wasn't true love? Or
I feel like if a love is hurting you mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, that's not love. But even in those times, I would still be loving and love, But now I've realised that I don't need to give of my love to everyone and everything and all the time, because not everyone deserves it. Not everybody deserves it, and it's okay. You can love people from afar as well. You don't have to, put yourself in a position where it's to your detriment.
I was going to say draining,
There's someone that I love. I love him very much, but, we need to keep a distance. Yeah. I need to say...
To make it, keep it wholesome, I guess.
Yeah, I love you from afar.
Yeah, not too encroaching.
Yeah.
So, on an uplifting note, not that we haven't been talking about lots of uplifting things, what message or feeling do you want to leave with your audience after they've listened to your EP?
I'd like to leave them feeling empowered and inspired. Yeah.
That's a nice note. That's a very nice note to cheers on. Okay. You just guzzling your water without me.
Cheers.
Cheers, everyone. You want to look in the eyes?
That's what I did.
No. I've been telling everybody to look in the eyes, and now everyone's doing it back to me because I'm forgetting to do it to them.
Cheers. You look lovely, by the way.
Thank you. I really, this is an influence of herself telling me to make more effort with colours. I love colours anyway, but I just don't find the energy for them in my face. So this is a testament to the influence that you've had on me.
It's lovely.
Thank you.
Everything goes together.
We're syncing today, actually. All we need is English sun to come out so we can finish off with the tan.
It looks lovely. The ring and the necklace.
I tried. Yeah. But definitely this is some artistic influences from you.
Yeah, it's nice to create yourself and make up yourself and stuff.
Yeah, for fun, it's nice.
Yeah, it's lovely.
I love it. Wear the things, pull them out your wardrobe. Don't let them sit there collecting dust. Yeah,
that's another thing. I like fashion, so yeah, it's good to feel good and just dress how your spirit feels.
Yeah, exactly. Don't break my glass. Don't make me laugh.
It's not champagne though.
No, it's non-alcoholic champagne, aka water. H2O.
I really like these glasses.
Oh, they're beautiful.
Shalene tried to give me this boogaboff one. I said, no, why have you got the
She always grabs that one out of my cupboard. Like, this is my glass. I should say, are you paying rent here?
Pretty dainty.
I know, and they're cute. Like us. Cute. Love it. No, but...
Stay hydrated, people.
Yeah.
It's water's life,
It is. Yeah. Water is life. What a lovely note to end on. Water is life, people!
Make sure you stay hydrated. But thank you so much for talking with me and stuff and doing this and allowing me to do it in your house.
My house says you are welcome.
Thank you. But 1 minute, let me just make sure that